Capricorn, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for the week ahead for Capricorn, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do fit and make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages waiting there as well. Always a good idea to check at least your Sun, Moon, and Rising. All right, my friends, let's get started and see what's the energy around the week ahead for Capricorn. Energy around the week ahead for Capricorn. This card really wanted to flip out, but we'll leave it. See if we see it again later. Okay. Okay, Capricorn, look at these beautiful cards you got. You got the Imagine card on the bottom of the deck. You've got the Y card, and you've got this beautiful Happy, Happy card. And you know, I can't help it. It feels like Capricorns have been sort of struggling a little bit to understand what to do next, what to do now, what to do in the present moment. I feel like Capricorns are going through a big shift. And I think all the signs are going through a big shift. And keep in mind that we have placements everywhere, right? So if you're a Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, if you have a prominent sign in Capricorn, I feel like you have been sort of trying to find your way. And you may have imagined a certain outcome for yourself. And you're trying to understand how and why, how to get there and why it's been proving to be a bit of a struggle lately to find this path to the happy, happy, and to feel fulfilled and to feel like you're moving in a way that there isn't all this resistance in your path. This Imagine card is really a beautiful card of turning imagination into manifestation. That is sort of the key message of this card here. And it's one of these questions where it's like you've been asking yourself, who do you want to be? Where do you want to be? How do you want to use your life to have the experiences that you sort of feel drawn to and feel that are meant for you? What do you think you need in order to be living this life that you've imagined, right? What is it and how to get there, and sort of this space that needs to be created to allow the power of your intuition and your creativity and your imagination to deliver you to what feeds your soul. And that is exactly what I'm talking about for Capricorns. This reading really sort of already is hitting the mark with the sort of the feelings I've been getting around Capricorn lately, and especially on the heels of that beautiful full moon in Aries that we just had that is pushing us towards our life path. And so it feels like Capricorn has been asking some questions when I see this Y card. I feel like the questions on Capricorn's mind have been why, how, and, when. It's interesting. And so when I see that Y card, it makes me really wonder for the Capricorns, what is what is behind this Y? When we have why questions, it can sometimes bring up a lot of other questions. And so the idea here is to be really clear about why you're asking this question. Why are you looking for answers? Why are you making certain choices? And when you get clear about that, that can really help us understand that why, that invisible sort of force in our life that keeps us questioning things and moves us towards growth. And I feel like Capricorn has been just imagining this happy time where things feel lighter and more smooth, like I said, without so many obstacles causing resistance. A lot of start-stop energy around Capricorn lately. So let's jump into the tarot cards and see what we will see for Capricorn. The start of your reading with these oracle messages has been right on with what I've been feeling for Capricorn. Capricorn. So let's see, what will the tarot cards reveal? Oh, we got a card out already and it's hidden from us. We'll flip it over in a moment. I like to go through the whole deck once to see what's going to come out. We got 2 cards that are hidden here. Oh, there's an Ace of Rods. Gotta love that. There's the Queen of Swords, seeking the truth, asking why. We've got the Hanged Man in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So the first cards that came out were right here. Okay, so we've got the 6 of Wands here in reverse, the Lovers, the Ace of Wands, and this Queen of Swords. So to me, when I see this, initially I'm thinking to myself, there is a new beginning here for you, Capricorn. You are seeking questions and seeking truth. You're seeking answers here. You want to know which way to go. And seeing the Queen of Swords in reverse tells me that as you're seeking, you might be overthinking and you might be actually creating some congestion for your imagination to reveal anything to you, because you're really thinking about this. This must be causing some pressure for some Capricorns out there. Seeing the Hanged Man in reverse also sort of makes me feel like perhaps we need to trust more and surrender more and sort of cool the thought process a little bit, cool it down just a little bit so that you're not overthinking and under trusting, right? And you know, sometimes when we overthink, we get ourselves into a spiral that can lead to a lot of anxiety, a lot of fear, especially if you're asking why questions, you know. Seeing the Lovers here next to the Ace of Rods, that really makes me think, Capricorn, that some of you are moving towards a really passionate new start with somebody. This in some ways could be coming through as a message of a new beginning in a very beautiful relationship here. And so it's interesting. It almost feels like there's a couple of things going on in this reading. So when we start with that 6 of Wands, this in reverse tells me that right now your path to victory, your path to success may be blocked right now because of some pessimism, some self-doubt, and some feelings of failure, and doing some strong comparisons with other people, which never leads to anything good. It sort of leads to these 2 outcomes that are both illusions. You either end up feeling better than someone or you end up feeling worse than someone. And in reality, you know, we're not better or worse than anybody. It's just a matter of, you know, staying focused on what you're doing without comparing yourself to others. It's a very unique journey that we're all on. And so when we compare ourselves to others, we end up with these 2 illusions, these falsehoods that sort of end up penetrating our soul almost, because then it can be very discouraging or very sort of what's the word? Like you can develop some arrogance if you feel like you're better than someone. You might get a chip on your shoulder and sort of have this arrogant sort of perception of yourself that you're better than, instead of seeing everyone as just unique. So that's interesting. So you might be doing some of that and saying, why? How come? Why not me? How come I'm imagining this outcome for myself and it seems to be happening for other people but not me? And so this kind of pessimism is bringing your energy and your vibe way down, Capricorn. So, you know, as much as you can sort of keep a mindful eye on this, that will sort of help lift your mood and open up the imagination, allowing you to surrender and to sort of stop seeking comparison, you know, with others, because that's not where you're going to seek the truth. And that could be where we're seeing the Queen of Swords here in reverse, because, you know, you're not going to find the truth by comparing yourself to others. This could be a time where you're sort of feeling a little bit cold or aloof. Maybe even it's moved into some bitterness here, where you're thinking, because you're comparing yourself to other people, it's coming out again. You're coming out feeling bad about yourself. So that's not helpful, Capricorn. Seeing the Lovers with the Ace of Rods right in the middle here is very interesting. I feel like you have a choice, And like I said, for some of you, this could be a signal that you could be entering into a really exciting new beginning with a person here. This could indicate a love relationship. But for what I'm seeing on the other ends of these two cards, this makes me feel like right now you're in the moment of duality, right? You're thinking in terms of duality, a little bit polarized here. And it could be that you just need to make a choice about your direction. Are you going to take this Ace of Wands and use your imagination to create something really happy for yourself without worrying about comparing yourself to others and sort of feeling this pessimism or this bitterness about yourself, like feeling kind of bad about yourself? And you know, it's interesting, like it almost feels like right now you have a choice to make and needing to really consider your boundaries and what feeds your soul and what is part of you in a very vulnerable sense of you. You know, when you look at yourself without any sort of, like, you know, when you see the Lovers, they're not wearing any clothes. It's sort of a symbol for just being raw and being vulnerable and being completely yourself. So when I see that with the Ace of Rods, that makes me wonder, are you making choices that are in line with that part of yourself where you're really looking at yourself for who you are? Or are you making choices that are based on comparing yourself to other people and thinking I'm not as successful, or I'm failing when I compare myself, you know? Or it really feels like that's the vibe, you know, that you're not comparing yourself and seeing yourself as better than, you're comparing yourself to others and seeing yourself as behind or failing, you know, and that's so intense to say to yourself, that, you know, to call yourself a failure, or to sort of have that energy around you that says I'm failing. It's a very powerful message to send to the universe, and it's not serving you, Capricorn. It's not serving you, you know, like the guidance from this reading is suggesting that you need to sort of look at yourself and say, what makes us happy? Where do I find my happiness, and how can I have a new beginning based on what makes me happy? And let's imagine it, right? Imagination, manifestation here. Imagining this path of happiness instead of constantly saying, why am I not like other people? You know? Because you're not. None of us are like each other. You know what I mean, Capricorn? This is a time to really love yourself for who you are without comparing yourself to others and judging yourself as being, you know, not as good as, or not, you know... It's an interesting feeling I have reading these cards. It feels like I just want to get that across, that it's not serving you to do that, Capricorn. You know, better to focus on what makes you happy without comparing yourself to others, and pursuing that path without comparison, right? Okay, let's look at that. Yeah, there's that Judgment card. Yeah, you're judging yourself. You're being really hard on yourself right now, Cap. And you're not seeing things as prosperous as they are because you're busy comparing yourself to other people, and you're sort of denying yourself this realization that I think is trying to come through in your imagination, but there's so much other stuff in there that you can't see it right now, you know? Yeah. There's the Ace of Pentacles landing on the Lovers, and it's up to you. Will you choose this new path that resonates with your happiness, or will you sort of see yourself as... It kind of feels like the message I'm getting is that you don't think you're you don't think you will be successful doing what makes you happy. And yet, I think it's possible here. I think anything's possible for you, Capricorn. Anything's possible for any of us. You know, we live in this really infinite and abundant universe, and we can make choices in line with what makes us happy, what makes us feel alive, where we feel this spark of life. And I feel like we're seeing the Ace of Pentacles in reverse because you don't think it's possible. It feels like you don't think it's possible. And there's the Five of Cups. It fell on the floor. Let me just grab that. Yeah, it's like you're looking in the past and thinking, I blew it. I blew it. It's like there's a choice that you have regret about. You know, maybe you said no where you should have said yes, or you said yes where you should have said no, and you're shooting yourself, and you feel a lot of regret about certain choices you've made, and now you're thinking you're not going to have a chance at anything that will make you happy. Oh, Capricorn. You know, I feel like that's a lot to put on yourself right now, and that's not going to help raise your vibe. There's the Seven of Pentacles landing on that Queen of Swords. So, yeah, you're definitely making an evaluation here about what to do next or what to do in the now, and you're having a hard time with it because that's landing on the Queen of Swords in reverse. So it's like by being sort of resentful and by holding that aloof or bitter energy where you're jaded in thinking that nothing is going to work out for you, you're putting yourself in a very difficult position to make a choice about what to do, because it's like you're mentally sort of already decided that you're not going to be successful. You know, and when you make that sort of communication or correspondence, you articulate that to the universe and say, well, I'm not going to be successful, then it's almost like you're fighting against your own perception of yourself when you do that. And it's making it very difficult for you to make a decision. The 7, right? That's a decision energy. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck is the Sun, Capricorn, the Sun. Oh my goodness, and did you see that? The Sun fell and it was the Tower in reverse. So let's look at both of these, okay? So everything is going to be okay. You're moving towards something really prosperous. The Sun is illuminating your path, but look at that right behind it. And it was funny because I said, look, it's the Sun, and then the card fell over and revealed the Tower in reverse. Very funny. So that Tower in reverse tells me that there is a truth that you're denying to yourself. There's some changes that you're not willing to get on board with. And I think it's with respect to your perception of your situation, your perception of yourself. There may be changes you need to make here, Capricorn. And I think that's why we're seeing, I'm going to keep both of those out there for you. I think that's why we're seeing the cards that we're seeing, because there is a path here to your happiness. And yet I think it just needs you to shift your mindset a bit away from thinking that you're a failure and thinking that you're not going to be successful. And this energy around sort of this, it's like you've almost decided this already won't work out, and you're giving up too early, and you're losing faith, and you're not following through, and you're getting frustrated that you're not seeing rewards. You've just got to keep going. Like, don't give up on yourself here, Capricorn. Don't give up on yourself. There's a new beginning here, but you need to create a strong foundation for your dreams. You really need to start imagining this happy in a very clear way in your mind. Like, you know, what does it feel like to feel free and to have this purpose that feels really connected to you on a very, very deep level? You know, what does that look like? What does it feel like? You know, and this idea of prioritizing things so that you're not just focused on, let's say, making money. You're focused on doing something fulfilling that brings in income. But if we focus only on the income, it becomes sort of like this, almost like a greed energy, which doesn't serve you either. You need to focus on the feeling of joy that comes from doing things that make you happy and doing things that make you feel inspired, like you've just picked up that baton. You almost need to seed the potential here with new ideas and to really become connected to things in your present life and let them sort of expand and grow. Oh, my cat just came in. To let those things expand, because what you're focusing on now is expanding, and it feels like it's expanding in a direction that says I'm no good and I'm not going to succeed. This could this tower here is showing up because there is a fear of the unknown, and you could be trying to like skirt around things so that you don't have any change in your life. Like you might be trying to hold on to the status quo in a way that's damaging in a sense, like it's blocking new opportunities from coming into your life. And I feel like the sun is appearing here because there is a new opportunity coming, and it's going to illuminate a path for you, but you've got to be open to it, Capricorn. You've got to be open to receiving this. I'm going to leave it at that. I went way over time here. Sorry about that, Capricorn. I'm trying to make these readings a little bit shorter, but this had to come out. This message is necessary for someone out there. So I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for being here for this reading, and I hope it's been helpful. If it's resonated for you, please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, commenting. If you would like a personal reading, you can find that information in the description below. All right, my friends, I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.